Talking about a new single, September.
Yes,
but you've got a new album coming out at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
And it all makes sense in the end.
Yeah.
It's all confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But is that where you think you are in your career? Because that's what the new album's called, right?
Yeah.
It all makes sense in the end.
That's right, yeah.
Is that where you are in your career?
Well, it was certainly where I was at when I started writing songs for this album. You know, like everyone during the lockdown, it was a real time for introspection and to reflect on things. And I've never been one to really take stock and pause. And of course, like in what you know, as an artist, it's multifaceted, isn't it? You're doing gigs and you're doing promo and you're doing writing. And I don't remember a time when I just was able to focus on the one thing. I was going through it was a bit of a rough year prior to the pandemic for me. I was confused. I was thinking about hanging it up. I didn't know whether I wanted to do it anymore. There's these weird, my fans brought it to my attention, there's a few like conspiracies around this superhero called Multiple Man. His real name's James Arthur, and the comic books, one of the comic books was called It'll All Make Sense in the End. And I sort of was drawn to that and used it as a bit of a mantra in my life at that point. And the songs were just, they were very reflective.
Yeah. There's more to this conspiracy theory than
there's a lot
saying.
more. Yeah, there is, yeah.
You need to delve into this.
Okay.
Did you hear what he said? There's an old comic book, right? And the character in it is called James Arthur.
Yeah.
Right? Keep going.
But yeah, so it's a Marvel comic. It's a proper. I think they're making a film, Multiple Man, at some point.
Right.
But anyway, when you look into it, his real name is James Arthur, and this particular character comes to fruition in 2012 in the X Factor series of these comic books.
The X Factor series, the comic books.
Yeah, and which is obviously when I was on the X Factor.
Yeah.
And his ability was to like sort of morph into various different things, which was something that people said about me. I was versatile. I could do different styles of music, and but there's loads of really scary parallels, like the names of characters within the story. Like they were quite close to people in my own life.
No way.
So
big conspiracy theory, this one.
It's a bit conspiracy. I'm obviously in no way claiming that I'm a superhero, but yeah, it was fun to take from that imagery and also the It'll All Make Sense in the End thing. Like I said, the album was really reflective for me. I was addressing childhood traumas and all sorts of stuff that I'd never really figured out. It was kind of a bit therapeutic for me. And so you see the covers, myself and a kid on the front.
Yeah.
And that's me saying, if I could say something to my younger self, it would be, I know your life's a bit mad and everything's very confusing, but it'll all make sense.
But when you are at the point where you are in your career at the moment, right, and you've had all that success, and you're just starting to understand it, you do say to yourself, it's all going to make sense in the end. Because I remember that point in life really well.
Yeah.
Also, the album was made in a very different way to before, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I did it all from my house. Set up a studio after sitting around and, eating Cheetos for a couple of months and playing FIFA. I realised it's time to be productive and just started writing songs. Like I said, I was in a weird place. So and music's always come and been a bit of a life raft, and I'm sure you can attest to that. It's always come along and helped me in my hour of need and just put it all into music. But there was something cool about doing it at home because you're more comfortable there. It's you're able to be more vulnerable when you're in a safe space. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so therefore, the lyrics and the music was all very, very honest, I think.
The album's a real mix of genres as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you were really into rock, right? When you were a teenager. Does that come through on the album?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, rock is a genre of music that's really close to my heart, and like I said before, the radio doesn't really want to play rock anymore.
Yeah.
So it's not a mainstream thing. Bands aren't really a thing anymore. Yeah. And I came from that sort of culture. So I've been sort of chipping away and trying to get it back into my music whilst still trying to appeal to my audience, if you like. So yeah, it's quite experimental. I hope I don't lose a lot of fans with this album, but it is quite rocky. It's quite rappy. I've got a few bits of MCing on there as well. So
you've got a great drummer on the album, haven't you?
Yeah, well,
a rock legend, right?
Yeah, I've been working with Travis Barker from Blink for a little bit. We did a song on my last album, and when I spoke to him, we just really hit it off, and he understood the vision I had for this particular song we've been working on, and hopefully another collaboration will be on that particular record as well.
I have to ask. Travis Barker's very much in the news right now. Have you met Kourtney Kardashian via Travis Barker?
I haven't. I would love to meet them. Yeah.
Are you on the Zoom like?
Yeah, looking.
Just move out of the way, Travis. Move out of the way.
Hey, is she about?
Yeah. Glancing around the corner of the door.
I wouldn't dare disrespect the legend, but no, yeah, I mean, definitely be cool to meet them, wouldn't it?
Incredible, mate. I mean, that must be such an amazing thing to be able to talk to one of your idols. It's so great.
Yeah.
But, lovely to have you here.
Yeah.
New single, September. It's out now.
We've reached a